All right, get ready to hear this term everywhere in the next year or so, agentic AI. Now, I know it sounds like just another piece of tech jargon, but trust me, this one's different. It's a really fundamental shift in what AI can actually do. So let's break down what it is and why it's about to be a very, very big deal.
So, to kick things off, let's start with a simple question. Think about it. When you ask an AI to write something for you, can it stop halfway through, look at what it's written, and think, no, this isn't quite right, and then change its whole approach? In other words, does the AI you're using today even have a back button? Well, the surprising answer for pretty much all the AI we use every day is no, it doesn't. And if you can wrap your head around that one single limitation, you'll understand exactly why agentic AI is such a huge leap forward.
Okay, so at its very core, a large language model, an LLM, has a really simple job. It just predicts the next word. You give it a prompt, and its entire existence is focused on guessing what word should come next. It adds that word, then immediately tries to predict the next one after that. That's why you see the text appearing word by word. It's an absolutely incredible process, but it's totally linear. It only moves forward.
So, what this means is, unlike how we work, a standard LLM does its job in one single forward pass. It can't pause and reconsider a clunky sentence or decide to completely restructure a paragraph. It just commits and moves on, which means it's completely missing that critical ability we have to reflect, to edit, and to refine our own work.
And this slide really nails the difference. I mean, think about how we create things. It's messy, right? We make an outline, we write a rough draft, we get some feedback, we revise it. It's a whole cycle. The AI, on the other hand, is basically being asked to get it perfect in one shot, no do-overs. So this whole no back button problem has sparked a really powerful idea. If a single AI can't reflect on its own work, well, what if we could build it a team? What if we could get AI to work more like we do, with a bit of collaboration and feedback? And that's the core idea behind something called a compound LLM. Instead of one AI trying to do everything perfectly in one go, you create a workflow that chains together multiple AI calls. Each step can then build on the last one, and the result is almost always a much, much higher quality output. Let's make this real with a simple example. Let's say we need a marketing plan. So the first AI is our drafter. It just creates the first pass. Then we take that draft and hand it to a second AI, the critic, whose only job is to poke holes in it and find all its weaknesses. And finally, a third AI, the reviser, takes the original draft and the critique and creates a new, much stronger version. You see what's happening here? This whole workflow is really just a structured way to force the AI to pause and think. It's kind of like what researchers at Google discovered, that just telling a model to take a pause between each step could seriously improve its accuracy. We're just making that process official. Okay, so this idea of compound workflows, that's the foundation for agentic AI. And to get from this simple workflow to a truly agentic system, we just need to make 3 key mental leaps. So the first leap, it's actually pretty simple. It's less about the tech itself and more about the language we use to talk about it. We stop calling them LLMs and we start calling them agents. Now, this isn't just swapping buzzwords. It completely reframes how you think about them. Each AI in that workflow is no longer just a generic model. It's a specialist. It's an agent with a specific job, whether that's being a drafter, a critic, or a planner. All right, on to the second leap. This is where the whole concept really starts to open up and the system's capabilities just explode. We realized that not every agent has to be a language model. Some agents can just be simple, specialized tools, right? So one agent could be the Google Search API that goes out and finds current data. Another agent could be a calculator that just does math, or a calendar API to schedule a meeting. All of a sudden, your system has an entire toolkit, not just a bunch of writers. And that brings us to the third and final leap. This is the piece that ties everything together. This is what transforms a simple workflow into a truly intelligent, autonomous system. We introduce the orchestrator. Think of it as a master agent, kind of like a project manager. Instead of following a rigid, predefined workflow, the orchestrator looks at the overall goal and, in the moment, decides which agent or which tool is the right one for the next step. A fixed workflow, that's like a regular TV show. It just follows a script from start to finish. But an orchestrated agentic system, that's more like that interactive Black Mirror episode, Bandersnatch, where the path is chosen on the fly. The orchestrator creates its own unique, choose-your-own-adventure to get to the best possible result.
So this is the future, orchestrated AI. But what does that actually mean for us? Why is this shift from a simple tool to an autonomous system, why is it such a monumental change?
Well, what it really boils down to is this. We're shifting from AI as a static tool that just follows instructions to AI as a dynamic system that can actually direct itself. It can look at a problem, assemble its own team of agents and tools, and then manage a complex project all the way from beginning to end. This new way of thinking doesn't just make AI better at the tasks it can already do, it lets it take on problems we once thought were basically impossible for a machine to handle. And that leaves us with a final, really important question. When an AI can build and manage its own team of specialists to solve any problem, what problems are even left that it can't solve?